wrapped up and because of COVID, another conference championship the next year, and the Bulldogs trying to get back to that effort. But this is a big challenge for Samford. They've played several Power 4 teams this season. This is probably the toughest team they've played.
Yeah, I think so, and it's just because of how dynamic TCU is on both sides of the ball, and Samford struggles to score. And so definitely,
well, trying to get better in their confidence. They decided to speed up their offense this year. They are top 15% in pace of play. Last year, they were bottom 10%. In transition, a good look for Taylor Bigby of TCU. It goes over the top. TCU will take a lot of threes. TCU's starting five. You see Bigby, Connor, Haley Van Lith, and those are familiar names. Of course, Agnes Eminoku started on Sunday as well. Yeja Merrill in the starting lineup with Sedona Prince. Lang Neal to the bucket. Samford. No score yet, and here's Haley Van Lith. An outstanding start to the season, averaging 19, 5, and 6. Post up for Merrill. A little too strong. Given who puts down the.
But that's the we're not Deasia Merrill starting for TCU, but that's what she does. Back to the basket, over her shoulder, just really buries her defender in the paint.
Samford this season only 4-8, but 1-8 against Division I teams. Offensive rebound by Bowman at 6'5", huge, and the offensive rebound stick out for Stady.
Yeah, that's what she does. She at 47%, so TCU is definitely going to have to find her and run her off the three-point line.
Samford, as a team, loves to shoot the three as well. 22 attempts per game, top 75 in the nation. Another rebound for Annie Beals.
And going to be on the board all night. That's exactly where we'll see.
Of God at guard, sitting inside the UCF transfer, misses down low, and TCU gets a chance to run. On the way to the cup, Bigby off the mark. Power after rebound. 7, no, gets to look at 3. That skins out, and on the rebound is a foul on Asia.
Right now, it on the got unable now.
Good love how she's worked hard and stayed consistent, backing up on a Prince. Now on for the first time is Robertson.
He knows better than that. You know, right now Sedona's out with illness, but just being up means Colton is very familiar with.
Van Lith finds Madison Connor for 2.
Such a beautiful play. Again, just playing over because Madison Connor is a three-point shooter, and so she just reads it perfectly and hits the back door.
Haley Van Lith, 14th in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio at better than 3. They're trying to get Bowman posted up. Can't quite do it. Here's Langham, the sophomore guard who started every game last year for Samford. Gets it back with only 7 to shoot. Runs into Robertson. Another look inside. Ramil on the turnaround, can't hit. TCU in transition. Haley Van Lith somehow finds her way into the lane for the bucket.
Somehow is right. I lost her in there from my angle, but she was able to get it up and in. She's just really crafty, especially getting to the basket.
An assist on the first bucket, and she has the second herself. Foul coming against Agnes Eminoku as Sierra Godbolt turned the corner. It's the first on the transfer from Stanford in her second year with TCU. Agnes Eminoku coming off a great effort against Louisiana Tech on Sunday. In addition to 7 points, she had 10 rebounds that led everybody on the floor, 5 assists that led everybody, and a game-high 5 steals, which was a career high as well.
And she's really the backbone of this team. We piloted her in the open. Again, just being able to step into that starting lineup and really just impact the game. It's
the kind of impact that Samford is hoping Sierra Godbolt has at point guard. Started half of her opening season at UCF for the Knights 2 seasons ago as a freshman. Last year, she was kind of a part-time player for UCF. But here, she is the full-time starter at point for Samford and hits both free throws. Samford showing some trap for the first time this season.
Yeah, this game, they're going to pull out some things that they've been working on in practice but haven't played in a game with, and so just trying to see how that all works out.
Haley Van Lith finds Madison Connor, and there's the triple for Madison Connor. She's third in the nation in threes, coming in with 40.
I knew it wouldn't be too long before TCU got the lid off the basket.
TCU with 12 threes on Sunday. Langham with an open pull-up, and she's able to stick it. Kennedy Langham, part of the SoCon all-freshman team last year.
She leads second on scoring 10.9 points per game. And when we talked to Coach Kuhn, she said in order for her team to have success, Kennedy Langham has to have success.
And Langham, a player who is trying to come off injury or had an injury over the summer, barely cleared for the first game of the season, but she's getting better and better as you see Haley Van Lith continuing to operate for TCU. Back to live action. Robertson back to Van Lith with 11 to shoot. Van Lith, the two-hand feed out to Agnes Eminopu. Shows and goes, and in the double team, she's fouled.
And this is small ball for TCU again. They're used to having Sedona Prince in the paint, running the pick and roll. So right now they're doing more of a motion.
And Robertson was starting at the 5.
Exactly, and they're such dynamic guards. They're able to play many positions with Aaliyah Robertson at the 5, Eminopu at the 4. They're just able to do a lot of different things, and so with Sedona out, they're still able to make something happen on the offensive end.
If you're just joining us, Sedona Prince out with illness tonight. That just crept up today. TCU expects to have her back shortly. The opener in conference play is coming up on Sunday, or rather Saturday, I should say, at UCF. Great block by Bigby. Agnes Eminopu comes out with it, and TCU in transition. Mark Campbell wants his team to go and attack. Van Lith with the left hand. And in the lane, loses the handle. TCU ball, 15 to shoot.
See Samford really trying to pack that paint because Haley is looking to attack, especially on that left-hand side.
2 points, 2 assists so far for Van Lith. She gets an early rest here before the media. Madison Connor back on for TCU. Donovan Hunter moves to the point, and Connor, short corner. That's no good. Robertson had the rebound for a moment, but loses it out. And TCU takes a slim 1-point advantage into the first break here in Fort Worth. The Samford Bulldogs holding in there with the number 12 team in the nation. Carolina, Madison Connor bounced back in a big way against Louisiana Tech. She had 18 points and became the third different player for TCU to accomplish 1,000 points in her career, and got commemorative ball before the game as well. TCU in a little bit of a press, trying to speed Samford up and get them out of rhythm back from the timeout. Samford Bulldogs looking for just their second win of the season against Division I teams. They had a win at North Alabama in overtime. Outside the arc, Alyssa Tarpley from Gunner, Texas, about an hour and a half north of here, takes it all the way to the cup, 4-2, back in her home state.
It's really good to see her do well early. This is why they scheduled this TCU game, so that the Samford coach likes to get her team, back to their hometown.
How about that? Madison Connor with a 6'5" player, arm extended over her. She nails the 3. And a stoppage on a foul on TCU.
She just in the press. Bowman had a high hand, but she just wasn't close enough. And Madison Connor does not need a lot of space at all to get her shot off.
Madison Connor already with multiple threes in this game, and a great start in the first quarter. 8 of the 11 TCU points. That was the second foul, by the way, on Agnes Eminopu. She has to come out. Great look at a 3, and it goes down.
Claire Johnson, the spark off the bench, doing really well in her freshman season here with Samford.
Great look for Donovan Hunter back the other way. She's off, but hit both of her threes last time out, and she comes away with a steal. feeds Haley Van Lith. At the elbow. Money.
And Donovan Hunter really makes a difference on that defensive end of the ball. You know, it was a bad shot, but she doesn't give up on it. Able to get the steal and find Haley Van Lith.
That's just an excellent point. The way she was able to stick with it, even after not being able to pick up her own offensive rebound. 4-out offense for Samford. Back in the corner, Tarpley unguarded for three. Bowman was there for the rebound, but it skips down to Donovan Hunter. And here comes TCU. Haley Van Lith beating everybody down the floor for the bucket.
And I don't even think that Haley knew the ball was coming to her, but Donovan Hunter is such an elite point guard and put it exactly where she needed to.
Nice to have 2 point guards on the floor with starting experience at the Power 5 level for TCU. Leading by 3 here over Samford. Bulldogs giving them a run in the first quarter. On the handoff to Claire Johnson. Gives it up to Godbolt. Only 4 to shoot. Godbolt slips it inside. Bowman, and she's able to beat the buzzer.
And you hate that as TCU because it's a full 30 seconds for the shot clock, and so you've got to continue to play until you have the rebound.
O'Connor's feeling it, but hard off the heel on her early 3. But again, Hunter is there to take it away. Her second steal, and this time she converts with the bucket too.
And she plays 94 feet. You see she's right there just up in Claire Johnson's face, just trying to get a hand on the ball.
Back up the floor, Robertson with the swat on Langham, and it goes out of bounds off of Langham as well. Robertson making up for a lot of ills on that one, defending the rim.
Again, just active hands by Donovan Hunter in that press. You love it when the defense turns to offense.
Samford has had a tough time giving the ball away this season. They've had turnovers just kind of come in bunches and snowball on them. Continuation, no. For Haley Van Lith, the foul is on the floor. Second team foul on Samford.
And Haley does such a good job of knowing angles. She was able to get into Claire Johnson's hip and draw that foul. They didn't get the continuation, but again, she's just such a dynamic guard.
Connor loses it out front, and then a foul is called against Samford for Sadie Stetson, throwing a pick immediately after Ramil had made the steal.
It all happened so quickly. Let's see, just missing the, oh yeah, just ran right into Connor.
She's a player that's going to play really hard out there. Her body just got away from her. Hunter exchanging with Connor, knocking down the triple. Donovan Hunter from the corner.
And I love to see Donovan Hunter start those 2 games. And so, but coming off with the bench with a positive response on both ends of the floor.
Another good start from outside for the TCU Horned Frogs. Annie Ramil shows and goes. Reverse pit, great finish past Merrill for Annie Ramil, who took 2 full years off of basketball and is back for her graduate season.
It's a really good job with that counter move. Get Deasia Merrill up and finishing.
Look at the ball movement. Haley Van Lith over the top though, but Agnes Eminopu knew right where it was going to fall. Madison Connor for 3, bangs it down. TCU up by 7. An 11-point first quarter for Connor.
Really good job for Connor coming out, just ready to play, ready to respond. Was back in the starting lineup after she didn't start the last game.
She has really responded after that. Going under the screen, Connor. Langham pulls up and hits the J.
And Langham is a 3-level scorer, so you're going to have to guard her at all times.
Great job sharing for TCU, and an easy bucket inside for Merrill off the assist by Connor.
TCU has 8 assists on 10 made baskets. That's the definition of team basketball.
25 assists last time out. Under 20 seconds left in the quarter and a chance for Samford to cut the lead down. They went back and forth, but Agnes Eminopu strips it away, and here comes Haley Van Lith. Down to Hunter, lay on. And that's how you finish a first quarter. The TCU Horned Frogs get a live ball turnover, and 2 passes later, it is in the bucket.
Game to really be able to do it off the bounce, do it off the kick out in just many different ways. She's such a great three-point shooter.
Absolutely. She's Jada Curtis. I'm John Little. Great to have you with us from Fort Worth. The final non-con tune-up before conference play for TCU, and Agnes Emanopu, a curling drive to the left side of the hole for two.
She's so aggressive. And when we talked to Coach Mark Campbell about her game and kind of what she brings to this team, he said she's a professional. She's the backbone. She's consistent. You know exactly what you're going to get from her every night. She gives 110%.
She's got a rebound here. She's led TCU out to their largest lead. Connor left alone for three again. Off the back rim, long rebound, corralled by Sadie Stetson, the transfer from American University, a three-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Vermont. Alanya Walden is on for the first time wearing number 11. She's a spitfire of a player for Samford. And an offensive foul is called here. And it goes.
Really rises to the occasion, especially in these Power 4 games going against bigger players.
You overplay Madison Connor from three. She can come up with an open two on you, but misses inside. Kylie Lewandowski with the rebound. Passing up on the three. Stetson to go inside, and Bowman loses it short.
And that's the type of defensive that players that TCU is. You thought you had an open lane. You didn't. Come back with the three for Madison Connor.
Watch out for the shooter. Madison Connor, her fourth three. What a start for Madison Connor tonight. 14 points of the TCU 34. Lewandowski.
That's how you start a game for sure.
Oh, that's outstanding. Stetson back to Godbolt, late in the shot clock now for the Bulldogs. Godbolt around the high screen. Van Lith with the swat. She can do it all. Bigby outside. Agnes Emanopu. No. Merrill trying to touch it back up, and another foul on Bowman.
Just such great team basketball. Van Lith with the block, something she doesn't normally get. You'll see just playing really good defense, going up with that right hand, and then being able to get back down the floor and find Deasia Merrill.
And we say she doesn't, but that's 9 blocks on the season. That is a really good number for a guard, almost a block per game. And at 5'9", if that. Deasia Merrill getting her first start in a TCU uniform tonight with Sedona Prince out. She started 64 times for Georgia State over the last few years. A physical banger. And on this trip, 2 for 2. She's got 6. Good start for Deasia Merrill.
Yeah, she's coming in spurts, 3 to 4 minute spurts, coming in, giving 100% effort, and then going to take a couple minutes break because she's not used to playing that time because of Sedona being in.
It's back and forth early in this one. The TCU starting to take over. Good extra pass to Stetson in the corner. Ring up the three. Sadie Stetson is Samford's answer for Madison Connor.
It was a good job by Samford just finding your shooter in the corner when you guys had numbers.
Little 3-2 zone here for Samford. They haven't used that a lot this season, but they've been working on it. Out of the corner, Bigby. Hard off the heel on the three. Van Lith going after the rebound and called for the foul, banging into Sierra Godbolt.
And like you said, haven't done a lot of that 3-2 zone. With TCU, it's kind of a good matchup because they have such dynamic shooters rather than being a 2-3 zone, because they are definitely going to shoot out of that.
That's an excellent point. 2-3 zone will leave players open on the wings and especially in the corners as well. On the drive, Langham hanging at the hole, but can't knock it down. Rebound quickly out to Haley Van Lith. And yes, she wants to go. Madison Connor joining the party, getting Bigby involved now. Double teamed and throws it away, but it's going to stay right here with TCU.
The turnover game right now, 5 for Samford, only 1 for TCU. They're doing a really good job of taking care of the ball. It was almost a turnover, but it got tipped out.
TCU, over the course of this season, top 10 in the nation in fewest turnovers per game, just 11.5. Samford does give it away a lot. Good pick and roll slip. Robertson misses the first, but makes the follow.
Some would say that's called padding the stats, getting your own rebound. But again, she does really dynamic on the offensive board, and so just being able to see exactly where it was coming off and go right back up.
Robertson, a really good season last year, averaging 6 rebounds a game. Played a lot more with the numbers thinner for TCU. On the crossover, good blow by, but Langham misses over the top, grabs her own miss. It didn't hit rim. Only 5 to shoot. Godbolt sees it, drives in, and nice delay to let Nopu fly by Sierra Godbolt with her first field goal.
Sierra Godbolt has a really high IQ, and so exactly knowing that Emma Nopu was coming.
Madison Connor doesn't let you get out a point before she tries to knock down another 3, her 5th.
Come on, let me talk, Madison, before we got to go on to you.
5 threes for Madison Connor, 17 points. Her career high was 10 threes last year against Tulsa. Good slip to the hole. Sierra Godbolt fouled on her way to the bucket and earns a couple foul shots. Madison Connor, finally we get a chance to talk a little bit.
See Godbolt just finding her angles, beat Madison off the first step and getting herself to the free throw line. She shoots at 66.7%. That is something that Samford, struggles with a little bit, is converting those free throws. As a team, they are 60.9%. You've got to step up and knock those down when you get the opportunities.
Well, no doubt, and they get a lot of opportunities over the course of the season. They're 22nd in the nation in free throw attempts, about 22 a game. Like you mentioned, 333rd as a team in free throw percentage.
My high school coach used to say, if it's free, give me 2. The clock is stopped. You get to take a deep breath and catch your breath to be able to step up to the line and knock it down.
But Godbolt is 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And again, Samford trying to hang in there against one of the best teams in the country, the TCU Horned Frogs. Robertson high post, flashing inside. Agnes Emma Nopu. It's knocked back out, but right to Godfrey. Teardrop in the lane, it falls.
Godfrey is just kind of has that knack for the ball, always finding where she could get in and help out the TCU team.
The TCU Horned Frogs playing without one of their best players today, but it is the teamwork that's making the dream work in Fort Worth.
They were picked 4th in the preseason coaches poll for the Big 12, but Coach Mark Campbell in the previous 3 seasons as head coaches, his team has met or outperformed the preseason conference projections. And so now being able to be recognized on a national stage outside of your conference is definitely great.
Robertson with another block inside on Annie Ramil, and it seems as though this TCU run is starting from the defensive end as Haley Van Lith leans into the lane. She just gets wherever she wants and earns 2 foul shots.
And you see there's 4 jerseys around her, and she's still finding a way to draw a foul and get to the free throw line.
Haley Van Lith. She's been perfect at the line in the last 3 games and just so efficient in every facet of her game. According to her hoop stats, right now she is 6th nationally in win shares overall with 2.7. A 1 of 2 trip here. Van Lith has 7 points. She's also contributed 4 assists and hasn't turned it over.
TCU in this 2-2-1 zone. Then dropping back and changing the defense. And they're just really trying to fine-tune things for conference, like you said. Samford coming out and trying some different things that they've only practiced and haven't done in games, but TCU as well, just trying to get things right before they head to Orlando.
Central Florida, that first conference opponent on Saturday. Nice move by Ramil, rolling it down, the vocal leader for Samford. Knocked away, and TCU keeps it here with 4 minutes left in the half. Ramil, an incredible story. Back after 2 years off to get her master's in education as a teacher and a coach, and they just happened to be talking, she and head coach Carly Coons, in the offseason. Coach Coons said, you've got another year left. She said, you would want me back? And Coach Coons said, yeah, duh. I might be making that part off, but it's really incredible to see her back out there after 2 years off.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to take, 2 seasons off. especially from, she had injuries, just kind of family things going on, and just to be able to get back into the mindset of being a collegiate athlete in itself is definitely difficult. So she's still trying to find her groove now.
What a feed, but Connor comes back up with it, misses short. On the rebound, Godfrey is called for boxing out and reaching out on Sierra Godbold. That's team foul number 3 on TCU in the second quarter.
And those fouls you don't get upset about. It's effort. She was trying to box out, you know, exactly what she's supposed to do. So you kind of just chuck those up and keep it moving.
Samford doing a better job taking care of the basketball in this game than they have. However, there are 5 turnovers in this game. TCU just 1. And TCU has turned those giveaways into points, 11-0. Points off turnovers in favor of TCU, and they lead it by 15. In the paint, a throwaway, and there's a live ball turnover.
Yeah, there's another one. They do a really good job of turning their defense into offense because they like to play high pace, because they like to get out and run and really advance that ball quickly. That's how those turn into points.
This is one of the best parts of Kenesha Godfrey's game. She is willing to go to the basket when she's out there.
You know, definitely she's really athletic, and she gives 110%. So whatever the dirty work, that's where Kenesha Godfrey's going to be.
Godfrey will be going back to Florida, her home state, on Saturday. Out of Tampa, went to Tampa Bay Tech, started the career at Mississippi State, now in her 3rd season at TCU. Missed all of last year due to injury, but adding some key depth for Mark Campbell this season. 1 of 2 trip here. Number 12 TCU leading Samford by 16 in Fort Worth. Tell you, in many ways, I've been impressed with the way the Bulldogs have hung in there all half.
Yeah, I don't think, they're not letting it get them down. I don't think that they're using Bowman as much as they would like to, but everybody is really stepping up.
And Bowman comes away with the offensive rebound, but Van Lith swipes it from the backside.
And that's why Bowman doesn't really like going against the little guards, because they like to get their hands on balls.
Madison Connor hits another 3. That is 6 in the first half. It's the 6th time in her career she's had at least 5 3-pointers in a half. Good look off to Bowman. Sierra Godbold gets her in perfect position.
Sierra Godbold really able to put her in a place of success to help get her team back on the board. But going back to Madison Connor, she must have had her Diet Dr. Pepper from McDonald's, because she's having a wonderful first half, and there's another one.
I'm loving it too. Madison Connor, 7 threes in the first half. The shooting wizard. TCU up by 20 now. Unreal. Good bang inside, but Connor stands up defensively against Ramil. And TCU once more in full flight. And all eyes on number 2 out in the corner.
You see Haley's trying to set it up so she can get Madison Connor another one.
They knew who's hot. Hey, but Robertson can hit the outside shot as well. That is 9 threes in the first half for TCU.
And I said it last game about Aaliyah Robertson. When she normally knocks down her shots, it's at the top of the key off of a pass. And so she's able to step into it, get her feet set, and really knock those down.
Haley Van Lith with 6 first half assists now. Ball knocked away. Connor nearly had it. Bowman goes to the ground. Tie ball. Samford holds the possession arrow with a minute left in the first half. And TCU opening up the lead thanks to the 3-point buckets.
It was very smart by Bowman to get on the floor with the ball, because TCU guards were already up the floor, and because they like to play so fast-paced. And so just being able to tie it up, and luckily they did have the possession.
How about the bounce back from Madison Connor? She had gone back-to-back games for the first time in her TCU career, not being in double figures against FAU, and of course only 5 against South Carolina, but responding in a huge way these last 2 games.
Yeah, Coach Mark Campbell said, after the South Carolina game, he had to challenge some people to step up. And, Madison didn't have the best game. She was able to be shut down by South Carolina. They're very great defensively, but the type of player that Madison is, she's able to find her own shots, and she wasn't really looking for them. So again, just a really great response.
Agnes Emenoku and Sedona Prince both said that, the team really took a responsibility for what happened against South Carolina as Merrill picks up the foul, and there was no finger pointing in the locker room, and it was the best week of practice they've had all year.
And I think that speaks to their maturity. You know, a lot of people, you know, don't want to take accountability, especially in the, you know, small things, but the film doesn't lie. You know, they got in the film room, they really dissected that so that they can learn from it.
Open three over the top by Lewandowski. And here come the Horned Frogs yet again. So fluid in the open floor. Good find to Hunter. Extra pass, Van Lith. Spots up out of the corner. In and out, but Merrill is there, and she's going to the line as Bowman picks up her third foul.
I was going to say, as soon as she did that, I said, oh, that's 3 on Bowman. Definitely hurting for the Bulldogs there in the post.
No doubter, though. Got her hand in there. You know, Bowman has been great against some of the top opponents that Samford has played this season. When you look at the 3 Power 4 teams they have played, plus Memphis, averaging about 14 points and 10 rebounds a game. But her toughest game was against Vanderbilt, her former team, by the way, 8 points and 8 rebounds in 19 minutes. She struggled with foul trouble and fouled out as Merrill goes 1 of 2.
And I think DeAsia's just giving her a different look. She was probably expecting to come in against Sedona and really bang, you know, size to size, 6'7" to 6'5", but they're showing her something different and just really being physical with her.
So Bowman sitting down for the rest of the first half. TCU up by 24. Game clock to shot clock difference here is about 6 as Samford's outstanding freshman Claire Johnson rocks it up top against Madison Connor. Both teams out of team fouls. 7 to shoot it. Johnson probing, handing off Walden. Only 3 to shoot it. Van Lith has another block. 1 on the shot clock, and it's a violation. Oh, before the violation, a travel rather, and TCU takes over.
And that's just beautiful team defense. You know, Samford was trying to hold for the last shot. Madison really kind of got in the grill of Claire Johnson, and then Haley Van Lith able to come up and get the travel.
Hunter inside. Merrill trying to beat the buzzer. Would have been good if it went, but still the TCU Horned Frogs take over with an outstanding.
Smart so that she doesn't have to go sit down again until the 4th quarter and try to help her team get back into this game.
She came in 5th in Division I in total rebounds and total blocks this season, but again held down in the first half. Welcome back into Schollmeyer Arena. John Little alongside Jada Curtis and her whole crew. TCU up big at the half, and some great action. Agnes Emanopu ducking baseline and dishing it off to DeAsia Merrill.
I love that little shovel pass from post to post. DeAsia Merrill able to get that one to go down. Missed the last one at the end of the half, and she was upset about that, but starting it off good.
And she also comes up with great defense on the other end. Merrill already has a season high and a TCU high, 9 points in this game. Haley Van Lith probing through the defense, throwing it up, missing inside, but Merrill follows with the bucket, and she's in double figures.
You see TCU is known for their pick and roll offense. They're in early offense. They're getting into that pick and roll, and DeAsia just able to clean up that Haley miss.
Spanning the back end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, it's now an 11-0 run for TCU. Their largest lead as well. That's a 3-pointer. Samford really needed Sadie Stetson with her third.
She has such a quick release because Madison Connor, they basically high-fived after the release, but Stetson still able to knock it down.
Madison Connor had 7 threes in the first half, but rims it out. Agnes Emanopu gives TCU another chance.
See Samford coming out in that zone again.
Great movement. Connor in rhythm from depth, but comes up a little bit short, and Bowman pulls the carom.
Again, when you knock down 7 in the first half, you're not mad to be off 2 or 3 steps off the 3-point line.
Good triple pivots inside, and the lefty finished by Sierra Godbolt, who Carly Coon says has to score for us this season.
And, you know, creating her own shots because she's always looking for her teammates and trying to get them open, but she's capable scorer as well.
Bigby gets another chance because of the extra effort play by Agnes Emanopu.
And like we talked about in the first half, you know exactly what she's going to get from her. She's going to give effort on each side of the ball, especially on that offensive glass.
second chance points. Agnes Emmanopu there for the defense on the great shooter in Stetson. Now on the mismatch, Bowman inside against Van Lith, who was active enough to knock Bowman down.
You know, they're going to put it. You'll see right there, she put it down rather than keeping that ball high.
Turning around the corner, beating the buzzer, but getting fouled. Alanya Walden, the spunky little guard, heading to the hole, and Agnes Emmanopu whistled for her third foul.
Especially with that shot clock going down, you have to know that now, and Walden is trying to get to the basket. That's what she does. She attacks the basket and was able to draw that foul there from Agnes Emmanopu with the shot clock winding down.
Alanya Walden, one of these players that is trying to get a little bit better at the free throw line as she earns a lot of foul shots. She's got a really high motor, sometimes plays just a little too fast.
And then these are the type of games with the defense that TCU has that can speed you up. And so you just got to kind of stay within yourself and know the pace that Samford wants to play.
An 0 for 2 trip. Agnes Emmanopu now has 9 rebounds. She had 10 against Louisiana Tech. Madison Connor overplayed. And as she takes it to the cup, she earns foul shots.
And Coach Mari Campbell is standing right in front of us. She missed 2, you know, coming out of the half. So as soon as she got the ball in transition, he said, go play. Again, because she's not just a shooter, she's a scorer, able to take that off the bounce and draw a foul. Yeah,
75% of her shots are threes, but to your point, she drives enough to make you respect it.
And because of how great of a three-point shooter she is, she knows she's going to get hard closeouts on that three-point line. They're trying to run her off the line, and so she's able to counter that.
TCU with a little token press, still leading big, 3 minutes into the third quarter. It's the final non-conference matchup for TCU before they go into conference play. They do have one more after this late in December before all conference action comes about. Deep three by Alanya Walden. She lines it up and knocks it down.
Really good job by Alanya Walden.
Bigby finding space on the Euro step to the hole, and Annie Ramil puts her at the line. The first on Ramil. Makes Bigby so valuable to this TCU team.
I think because she's, first, her stature. So she's really long. She stands at about 6'1", and so, but she can shoot the three-pointer, but she also is able to use her length and get to the basket. You'll see she gets her hands on offensive rebounds and able to tip it out. And so I think she's just trying to still uncover the different layers to her game and how that fits within this system.
Couple misses. That Bowman rebound is the 500th of her career. Most of that rebounding work done in the last 2 seasons for Emily Bowman. On the crossover drive, the freshman Claire Johnson got underneath, kicks it to Langham for points, and hasn't scored since the round to Van Lith. Spinning on her and coming up short, rebound. Out to Agnes Emmanopu, and TCU coming again. Madison Connor inside the line. Whips a pass out to Roberson. Great offense on the hook pass by Connor, and Roberson knocks down her second three.
Those are the most high percentage three-point shots when you collapse the defense by attacking the paint and kick it out.
Double-digit threes again for TCU. They're up to 10 and shooting better than 40% from beyond the arc. Pick and roll game. Samford team wants to be more high octane this year. Roberson playing three-quarter, able to rip it away from Bowman, but then she turns it over.
You know, that's the difference between her and Deasia Merrill. Deasia kind of bangs, but Roberson able to use her length and really get her hands out in the passing lanes.
And Van Lith keeps this one alive. There are players down back behind the play. Connor doesn't care. She finds Bigby in the corner. Shows and goes. Bigby off the glass. A lot of contact with no call, and we play on. Johnson spots up for three in transition, and she is a scorer. They are excited about Claire Johnson at Samford.
Yeah, Johnson, that's her second three-pointer here today. Again, playing in front of her in her hometown.
Haley Van Lith skips it out to Agnes Eminopu. Could not be more wide open, and she drops it out of the corner.
And the three-party continues for TCU.
I'd say 11 constitutes a party. At what level is it a party, right? 9+, you think? 10+?
I think 8+, honestly.
Absolutely. And at this point in the game, as Connor called for the reach-in, Kennedy Langham heads to the hole, or heads to the line, I should say, on the other side. Madison Connor blitzing the Bulldogs with 25 points tonight. Part of a big TCU effort. Ready for her moment tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Sedona Prince out with illness. She has 18 points per game and 9.6 rebounds. And Deasia said, I can step in, I can help out. 11 points tonight, 7 rebounds. Again, really good job of stepping into the opportunity when it's available.
Season high in points and rebounds in a TCU uniform, but again, she made a great impact at Georgia State in her 4 years, including the last couple, where she was a double-double player, nearly as a senior and a junior, 10 double-doubles over the course of the last 2 seasons. Merrill used to being out there in big moments and paying dividends for Mark Campbell today. 1 of 2 trip for Kennedy Langham, and Haley Van Lith tracks down the rebound with a second effort. Her team up by 26. Hunter sees the lane wide open. Emma Nopu is back in there for another rebound. Una Jovanovic making her first appearance in the game. Speaking of staying ready, she's fouled with 4:06 to play in the third.
Hey, Una coming in the game, and her role has changed this year because of the different roster that they have from last year. But again, like you're saying, paying dividends from the work that she put in last year, the consistency that she's shown, and just coming in every day with a great attitude, ready to help her team.
Van Lith, that was an awkward second step, but it shows the body control she has and the finishing ability.
And I think she worked a lot on that in the 3-on-3 prep for the U.S. Olympics, because you don't have a lot of space, you don't have a lot of time, and so just being able to really create for yourself was really helpful, and she's bringing that here to TCU.
She looks so decisive. She looks like always she's under control, in control, and the move to point guard for her here in Fort Worth has been great. 5 to shoot it, Godbolt on the action, and Hunter stands straight up to take it away. It's a 4-on-3. Jovanovic. Extra pass by Agnes Eminopu, and Haley Van Lith pulls it back. With the quickness advantage, the step back 3, around and off.
Samford trying to look for some offense here. Jada Knight in running the point guard for the Bulldogs.
Double team down low and out of bounds. Last touch by Samford's Aubrey Blankenship. Carly Coons said in this one, we've really been focusing on us. We talked to her yesterday, and they hadn't really even focused on TCU. I mean, they know how good they are. They know who's on the roster, but today's game was more about working on some things they finally had a chance to work on. They were going hot and heavy, lots of games in short order during non-conference play, as Madison Connor lifts the 3 from the corner and is fouled on the reach-in by Stetson. She shoots 3.
But like you said about the Samford Bulldogs, when we talked to Coach King, she said, you know, the first couple of games against the Power 5, they just couldn't really find their identity. They're still trying to figure out what they're going to do. And so now when you can see conference play on the horizon, you've got to focus on you. You can't really focus on TCU. You're going to come out here, you're going to play hard for 40 minutes, but you have to learn from what you get from this game and bring that into conference play, because it's going to be challenging for them as well. In preseason poll, they're tied for 3rd. To finish in their conference. So they're just trying to really learn some things, you know, from this game and then take that with them.
Madison Connor 3 for 3 at the line. She has been the thorn in Samford's side in this one. It's a 31-point lead for TCU. Knight looking inside. Now the 2-man game with Blankenship. Blankenship, good shooter from the outside, puts it up and puts it in, her 5th 3 of the season.
So you called it. She can shoot, you know, but when she gets those opportunities, able to knock him down, she's shooting. 20% right now from the three, but we just know that she is a capable shooter.
Connor out to Jovanovic. Her three in rhythm comes up short, and a foul on TCU inside. Aaliyah Robertson picks up the foul. Jovanovic has had a tough season shooting-wise from outside. She's 2 of 17, but she's so capable. Remember, she led the team in three-point percentage last year at 40%.
For sure, you know what type of player that she is, and right now that's not her role. And so without having those constant game reps, sometimes it can get a little rusty. And so, again, she's a really capable scorer, and we'll see her definitely step up throughout the season.
Yeah, kind of like Merrill. You know that she's a pro and she's going to stay ready.
Exactly.
Only 5 to shoot it again. Late in the shot clock. Knight against Jovanovic. Here comes Connor for the block, and she starts the break. Madison Connor left it behind. Connor off the bounce. Wraps around the pass. Jovanovic underneath. Robertson wide open.
Again, Jovanovic is such a smart point guard. Normally you would shoot that one, but you saw a wide open, Aaliyah Robertson under the basket, and they just play such team basketball to give up a good shot for a great shot.
And another takeaway. This time it's Donovan Hunter. Hunter, her third steal, and she scores the bucket. She's got 9.
Speaking of getting ready for conference, you see again that token pressure that TCU is still showing. This is what they did last game too. They never let off the gas. They continue to play because they know that nobody's going to do that for them.
It's exactly what Mark Campbell loved about that last game. Defense led the way, and they played 40 minutes of hard-nosed basketball. Jada Knight, again, late in the shot clock against the bigger Robertson. Outside, and the three by Stetson. She's fouled. Stetson fouled Connor in the corner for 3 shots, and now Connor returns the favor.
It's been a battle of the shooters between Connor and Stetson. Stetson finding herself at the charity stripe to shoot.
Gatorade Player of the Year. That is the ultimate award you look for in high school. She didn't win it once. She won it 3 times in Vermont.
That's wonderful. That really speaks to who she is as a basketball player. When we talked to Coach Kuhn, she said she is tough. She has high IQ. She's reliable. And to see that transfer from the high school level here to Samford.
Just want to make sure she's not hesitant at any point this year, because she is having a career year at 10 points a game. 2 of 3 trip that time. Negligible difference game clock to shot clock as Haley Van Lith in her 5th season pounds it out top for TCU with a 30-point lead. HVL. Outside, Hunter spots up for 3. Yes!
You love getting that to knock down, especially with the clock winding down. You knock them down, nobody can say anything.
No, I didn't say anything. Did you?
No.
Great to have you back with us as we go to the 4th quarter. Samford and TCU matching up for the first time ever. Agnes Eminopu pulls down her 13th rebound. Her career high, by the way, is 14. Deasia Merrill started this game in the post for Sedona Prince, who's out with illness, and great patient work inside to take advantage of the mismatch.
You nailed it. I like how patient she was. She gets the ball, she sees where her defender is, and then makes her move.
TCU leads by 35. Spot up 3 from the corner by the Texan. Tarpley is over the top, but Samford gets another chance. TCU out-rebounding Samford by nearly 20 tonight. Claire Johnson. Around the outside, but TCU there at every turn on the pull-up. Off the mark by Jada Knight. And Madison Connor with 28 points brings it ahead.
Being able, anybody on TCU could advance that offense. We saw last game, Deasia Merrill advance the break that time.
Connor over the top. There's a career-high tying rebound for Agnes Eminopu, but she loses it by twirling in the lane. A rare turnover for TCU, just their 4th of the night. A spot up 3 in transition off to the left by Stetson.
A rare miss there by Stetson, especially how wide open she was.
Madison Connor, she leads TCU all time in 30-point games. She's done it again. That's her 5th time in a TCU uniform with 30+. And remember, this is only a year and a half in a TCU uniform for her.
Yeah, TCU and Madison Connor have a lot more basketball to go. And so being able to see her just really have success early this year just makes me excited to see what she's going to do in conference.
3 to shoot. On the elbow, the miss by Stetson, and following her own miss, she creates a rebound for her Samford Bulldogs. The Asian Merrill's been excellent. Get a look here. Last touched by Merrill. Samford a new 20. Back in there is Emily Bowman at the post spot. She's been saddled with foul trouble. She had the mismatch against Van Lith, but didn't take advantage. On the way to the cup with the step, Claire Johnson, fouled by Taylor Bigby, and Johnson heads to the line.
And you can see Samford and, you know, their identity of being able to draw fouls and get to the free throw line. Just needing them to step up and convert. Today they are 7 of 11, 63.6%.
It's tough to draw fouls against this TCU team. They are 8th in the nation in opponent free throw rate, so percentage of trips to the up the floor that end in free throws. And a 2-for-2 trip here for Claire Johnson. She's up to 8 points in the game.
When we talked to Coach Coons, I asked, you know, who has surprised you this season? And she said Claire Johnson, because she's a freshman who just really come in ready, goes out, plays hard, and you can see her definitely having success. 8 points today.
Extra pass to Connor in the corner. No threes in the second half from Madison Connor. Good find inside to Agnes Emanopu. She gets stripped. 5 to shoot still. Connor splits the defenders. Tough shot from the free throw line. Robertson pulls away the miss. Extra pass, extra pass. Van Lith in the corner for 3. And the sharing is caring and continues here in Fort Worth.
For sure. At some point of that play, everybody on the court touched the ball. And you love that Haley Van Lith ended it with a corner pocket 3.
She's been in double figures in every game in her TCU career. An overpass, and TCU comes up with a steal. Van Lith inside the lane, on the pivot foot, wraps it around. Connor thought about it. Emanopu takes it into the lane, and as she tries to pass out, a foul coming against Samford. Annie Ramil whistled for the foul, her second. Bowman was there as well as Emanopu comes out. What a back-to-back pair of games for Agnes Emanopu.
Yeah, for sure. You see just her. Normally she would take that 3, but again, just trying to show the dynamic of her ability.
Van Lith, the drop step into the lane, misses just off to the left. She's so tough to contain. How does she get to her spot so often?
Again, I think she just knows angles and knows how to really get into those well by using her body a lot, especially on that left-hand side. She's able to just kind of snake with.
Then the great Haley Van Lith. She has 13. Van Lith with a dozen. A TCU on the board, big. Van Lith to go back in front. She sinks it. Back-to-back threes for Haley Van Lith.
I think she heard you. She said, Stetson ahead of me, I got you.
That's 15 points for Haley Van Lith to go along with the 8 dimes. Another great, efficient performance by one of the best players in the country. Off 1 foot, it doesn't go for Stetson. TCU's been over 100 once this season. Robertson inside the lane on the pull-up, just strong. And a reach-in against TCU, and they'll give it to Jovanovic.
Oh, it looks like she got her in the face. We'll take a look and see if we can see
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just swiping down at the ball. Because at my angle, I didn't really see any contact, but on that replay, definitely heard it on the swipe.
TCU won their home games by an average of 40 points. What's the spread? Well, it's 39. With 5 minutes left to go in Fort Worth. Final tune-up before conference play starts on Saturday. On the way to the bucket, Langham misses against Robertson. Robertson pulls the carom. TCU out in full flight. Connor always ready to catch and shoot and make. Madison Connor, 8 triples.
It's always so fun when you knock one down right in front of your bench, able to celebrate her 8th three-pointer going down this game.
Her career high was 10 against Tulsa last year. Hunter with another steal. That is number 4 for Hunter.
And again, Donovan Hunter, one adjective that Coach Mark Campbell really always used about her is her humble spirit. Again, being able to step up when the lights get bright and really have her have success after struggling.
Another season high for Hunter as Johnson takes it to the cup herself and lays it home. Claire Johnson's in double figures, the 5th time this year. But offense and defense, it's all happening tonight for TCU. Game summary, lot to talk about for number 12 TCU, leading big on Samford. Madison Connor, season high 33, the 8 triples. Agnes Emanopu, another great all-around game. And then TCU taking advantage of the turnovers and sharing the basketball.
Yeah, 24 assists, 22 points off turnovers. Sedona Prince out with illness tonight. She averages 18 and a little over 9 rebounds per game. So somebody was going to have to step up. And I think it's definitely been a team effort.
Donovan Hunter, rare giveaway as Godbolt comes up with the steal, feeds it forward, and Annie Ramil hits the line for a couple as Natalie Mazerik is whistled for her first foul today. And you get the pleasure of hanging on for just a few moments before the conclusion of this game. Number 12, TCU, on top of Samford by 42. Purple is the new red, it's the new holiday color. Welcome back into Fort Worth. TCU all over Samford. John Little and Jada Curtis back with you in Fort Worth. Play out the remainder. Bulldogs in the second half have struggled offensively just a little bit and try to get them turned around as Annie Ramil, who hits the first of 2. She's averaging 7 points, 6.5 rebounds this year. She's an all-conference rebounder, led the SoCon in rebounding for Samford back in her junior season of 2020-2021 and trying to regain that sort of form. TCU leading big by 40. And another 3 by Madison Connor, wide open but in and out. Grabbing their own miss, TCU sharing it so well and trying to get Connor another look. Instead, it's Godfrey from the wing, comes up short, And it's going to be off of, I think the officials will change it here. Brian Hall runs in, talks to Natasha Brown. They correct the call. It's last touch by Samford. Madison Connor checks out with another excellent game, her 5th 30-plus point game in a TCU uniform.
Again, just such a great player for TCU. And I feel like every game she gets a little better. And so in conference play, hopefully she's hitting her peak.
Godfrey cuts in. Hunter has the 5th steal. Back to Godfrey. Redemption chance just off the mark. And Godfrey shaking her head from side to side after a couple misses. But yet again, Donovan Hunter having quite the game.
Again, just an elite defender, 94 feet. And as a point guard, sometimes you're not thinking that somebody's going to be right there on you. And so she's able to get a lot of steals just in the backcourt.
Good no look and a great catch by Emily Bowman. It was out away from her, but she's able to convert. It's the first second half points for Bowman, who comes into the game with 6 double-doubles this season. She's been so good, but limited by foul trouble in this game. She's picked up 4 fouls, 8.6 rebounds.
And I think that kind of really threw them off. You know, her fouling and not being on the court is really what threw off her scoring in this game thus far.
Ella Hamlin, the walk-on, comes up with a steal, feeds Godfrey for 2.
Godfrey able to get that one to go down. And everybody's so excited anytime Ella can get in the game and make an impact. She's one of the people who walked on the team last year after all of the injuries that TCU experienced.
From just down the road by about 30 minutes in Granbury. High-low pass, Bowman in double figures for the 9th time this season and the 20th in her career. Some subs on both sides with 2:07 left. In the post, it's Deja Turner for TCU. And Donovan Hunter, 14 points and 5 steals before her night comes to an end. That is a season high in both those respects.
It's been an all-around great game for the TCU starters. Donovan Hunter didn't start this game, but again, making an impact off the bench for the Frogs.
I wonder if everybody gets a free stocking stuffer if TCU hits 100.
If not, let's petition for that.
Let's do it. Jovanovic off the bounce, and she knocks it down. TCU in triple digits for the 2nd time this season.
And just Jovanovic is very good in that 12 to 15-foot range, able to just bounce right into it.
And off the take, Jovanovic fouls Walden, and the sophomore from Melbourne, Florida, heads to the line for a couple.
Walden 3 points tonight. But when we talked to Coach, he said Walden really learns through games, learns through being able to get out there and have those reps. And so tonight, thus far, just trying to make an impact in the game, however she can.
And she'll be an impact player, a guard coming off the bench. And this Bulldogs team is more talented than they were last season when they went 14-16 and 6-8 in SoCon play. And the record doesn't look great right now, but there is a lot of reason for hope for the Bulldogs once they get into conference play. Big 3 put down by Natalie Mazurek. It's number 16 to tie a season high from outside for TCU.
And Natalie Mazurek is a pick and pop player. That's what she came in to do, is hit the 3.
Ooh, speaking of, fire back 3 the other way by Walden. Still time for TCU. By the way, their all-time record for 3s made in a game, 18. They would need to do it twice here down the stretch. Jovanovic all the way outside to Hamlin. Doesn't pull the trigger with 11. Trying to get everybody on the board. Godfrey in the paint. Mazurek, 5 to shoot. Jovanovic late in the shot clock with 2, with 1. Double clutches and comes up short. It did barely draw iron. And the shot clock is off for Samford. Next up for Samford, by the way, a 3-game homestand before SoCon play. And with 10 seconds left, TCU will hold it, and they will hold up. The TCU Horned Frogs pick up another dominant home victory, and they are prepped and ready for Big 12 action after the 103-64 domination of Samford.
And really good response here from